If the sun is shining, the day will be filled with laughter. If the roof is moving, sit on top of it. All right, we organized an event where the participants were divided into teams, and each team had to make some kind of vehicle, but the mandatory participation was the absence of a roof over the driver's head. There were all sorts of convertibles, motorcycles with sidecars, and other nonsense. And our team did it this way. The assembly of the stagecoach begins with ladders. I thought about making a hatch, but it turned out to be not quite easy. I even found the hatch of some car incomprehensible, but I did not do it, because the plugs from the oil barrels seemed to me the perfect solution. Just gorgeous. Later, it will be clear for what reasons these things do not allow the interior of the Ford to get wet, in the form assembled in the stagecoach. Give me the steering wheel. That's how one enters into the other, and the rain gets wet. For particularly sophisticated users of the roof that has gone, a comfortable adjustment of the steering column angle is provided. The gas pedal is our cockerel. And when someone says gazui, this should be said by Davina Petushko. Hey director, give me the selector. In this module, we have a gas cable and an automatic transmission selector hidden. This is the brake rod. If you pay attention to the number of welding seams, then you can easily assume that it has acquired its correct shape, far from the first time. The path of penetration of the brake rod into the working position is not simple. The working position has been reached. And I pay attention to the tightness. The duster works admirably. It's time to reveal the pussy theme. And our pussy is slowing down. If the cock turns off, then the pussy slows down. And so we screwed it up, and we'll slow down. The gas cable falls into place. Oops. Steering shaft. The steering shaft is inserted into the opposite part of the steering column, located on the roof. Done. Chick. The gas cable is on the gas pedal, this time not on the suction. The most difficult thing in this whole design was to bring the gear shift up. Even though it's automatic, it's still difficult. We have a bird on the selector right here. It's screwed to it like this. Well, let's call it a construction, right into the bird's eye. So we screwed this case here. This thing is rubber. There's a string here. The string passes through this. Let's call it a case, a skiff, returns to this loop, to which it is also tied. And it turns out that if we pull the string, then our elastic band, along with the gear selector, is pressed against the steering wheel. Next, we turn the steering wheel, and we switch gears.
И у нас переключаются передачи.
Later we'll show you how it works on the go. This cable goes up.
Выходит наверх.
Only the ignition switch is not brought to the roof, but it's not so difficult to go down once or twice and start a car. As Gagarin says, let's go. I'll explain. We pull the cable that presses the automatic transmission selector to the steering wheel. Press the brake 1 click, the rear 2 click, neutral 3 click, probably drive. Drive, well, maybe the second one. This is in place. We release the pussy and give the cock. Damn, how cool it is. That's why I missed you. For a long time, we thought about what kind of steering wheel to put here. We have a set of them. Well, we'll show them later. And this valve turned out to be the most high. Firstly, it has a very comfortable one, as if the sports size is small. And all these backlashes, which together are obtained in these long steering columns, are compensated by its small diameter. And another awesome feature of it is that it does not have a center. That is, do not put it crookedly. It always stands, and does not infuriate you by standing unevenly. And in general, it is a cast iron valve and wonderful. Let me introduce you. Our director, Nikita Germanovich Yanushpolsky. Nikita. Thank you. If there is a fire burning in the forest, its horn is a man. If there is a director in the frame, then there is a reason. When we shot the very first clip with the Volga, I immediately told the guys, we need a second serious, powerful car with which we will shoot this Volga. But sitting inside the car was absolutely uncomfortable. Sticking out of the trunk sucks. This whole system has not been there yet, and therefore we have been figuring out all sorts of different options for quite a long time. We have done the following. There, 2 hefty rails were welded directly to the frame, on which some crossbars were placed, a car seat was welded on them, and a kangaroo cage was welded from some Jeep in front, so that I felt safe. Naturally, it was quite difficult to feel safe when you were racing along a dirt road, and the engine was roaring behind you, which was hiding under the hood right there. It was from this that the history of Svarkabilia began, not even from the Volga. First, we made and tested this system, the frames of which you now see from those backstage shootings. Friends, my name, let me remind you, is Nikita Yanushpolsky. Weddings, corporate parties, fun children's matinees, I don't take off all this crap, and I will never take it off. But advertising, clips, and especially something like this, that's fine. And it's also very cool when you get a branch in the face. There is such a pleasant birch plume in the air for a short moment. The weather today in St. Petersburg, of course, turned out to be summer. It was very difficult to guess the day of filming, so that all of us could, and the weather could too. I really like American cars, when you can drive 3 in front of them. Such a sofa. It's right here in general, that's mine. And the machine is on the steering wheel, because you can sit down, and no one's legs are bothered by these stupid levers. And of course, I was very much led to the red salon. We rolled back the stagecoach, disassembled it, and now we just have a Ford in front of us. And then we'll go into it and see what has changed after we just got our hands on a standard Ford Explorer. Rear windows. I was very worried that everything that was hanging out in my trunk would knock them out sooner or later. And in the end, somehow they infuriated me so much. Infuriated, I broke them myself, brewed them with irons. And now there are beautiful rusty durable things. I really like them. When this rubber with big teeth got up here, we had very big problems with the fact that only the dirt that stuck on top of them was visible in the rearview mirrors, so we thought about the fans. Plastic standard solutions, well, you know, are not for us. Therefore, pieces of the 69th gas went into use. It was very funny. And here are the pieces of the front wings, and here are the pieces of the rear wings. Pens. When I bought it, there were plastic handles that didn't work well, they irritated me at all. That's why we cut out such pieces here. A plate was cut on a laser. Here is such a slide. GAZ-24 gave us its chic, stylish, chrome handles. Even the bumper didn't have to be painted. The color of the body after they got up here. I'm not a fan of chrome at all. And immediately the insole became better. Then we got our hands on these American mirrors. They usually stand in the other direction, and this plastic stuck out from here, which we don't digest at all. Therefore, I wanted to somehow combine all this, add it to each other. And this is a connecting rod. This is a piston pin. This is also a piston pin. And this is also a connecting rod. That is, the internal combustion engine came to the rescue. From what? It is unknown. The roof rack is a convenient. B is the basis of our stagecoach. Next, we have a great navigation system. Our compass was borrowed from a ship of some kind. It has an ideal gyroscopic effect on each pit. And even if, for example, well, you never know what kind of feast in the field or something else, you can put a container here, pour everything into it, lift the hood, and it will not allow such a type of container to spill. A very convenient option. I recommend it to everyone. Radiator grill. Well, what could be written on it, except for the word Ford? Why Ford? Because a diminutive. Yes, it turns out. Ford he's usually like, oh, there's 150, 250, 350. They're healthy like that. And this one is like a little Ford. Modest. Here. On this side, we have, in general, a mirror image of that side. Unless some bastards who probably killed Kenny broke my glass. It's a pity. And where you will find it now, you will not understand. Well, we'll look for it. Maybe someone, if the ruins of such a Ford are lying around, we will be happy to accept them or change them for something. And of course, according to the classics, so to speak, according to the ancient tradition of giving an axe, we gave him an axe. It's a good, kind story. Well, pink eggs, which are all in the dirt, do not seem to need comments at all. My height is 192 centimeters, and it was not easy to find a car in which the seats would be laid out in a flat floor, and I would also fit in length. And the Ford Explorer in the first body satisfied me with these features. For joy, I sewed a mattress here, which unfolds synchronously with the seat. Good dreams. I somehow approach a pile of scrap metal. I need a piece of iron similar to this one in the image. I take it for this twister. I get it, and it's like this to me. I am like that. What? And in the other direction this twister. And she's for me. And then, in short, we thought, and made a musical instrument out of it. In the common people, it is called dracophone. Listen to how nice it is.